for a single guy is you have the life of the hotel, you have the lobby bar, you have the lobby restaurants, you have all that life where you can meet girls, or you can meet people, whatever. So that's the number one advantage. Welcome to Darren's Travels. On this travel, we talk about solo travel for guys across the world internationally. Today, we're going to talk about where to stay when you're thinking about planning a trip overseas. And the first thing when you're thinking about like kind of where to stay is, first of all, think about how long you're going to stay. What I do when I travel is I usually try to stay in two different major cities on my trip. I'm here in the U.S., and so if I take all that time to get across the ocean, I want to stay and see two cities while I'm there. And so basically 2 cities, 5 to 7 days each. So plan on 10 to 14 days when you're traveling by yourself, when you take a vacation. And also the reason why you stay there for that long, at least anyway, is because you lose a day or two going and coming. And so you got to keep that in mind. And also staying longer, it kind of gets old, I guess, after a while. I mean, you want to come back, you want to kind of leave something to be desired, I guess. So that's why I say, like I said, 2 weeks. Where to stay in the middle of the city. If you're a guy, you're traveling by yourself, you don't want to stay out in the suburbs. I don't care how cheap it is. I don't care how big the place is. I don't care about anything. Stay in the city center because you want to be able to just come down the stairs and walk to all the bars, all the clubs, everything right there in the local area. So stay, because you're by yourself, stay in where all the life is, where all the city center is. Now the debate is really kind of whether or not you should stay in a hotel or Airbnb. Before, when Airbnb first started, it was a lot cheaper, and so it was kind of like it was always kind of leaning towards that direction. But now I think it's much better to stay in a hotel when you're traveling overseas. The advantages are basically for a single guy is you have the life of the hotel, you have the lobby bar, you have the lobby restaurants, you have all that life where you can meet girls, or you can meet people, whatever. So that's the number one advantage of staying in a hotel. And then obviously you get, they come in and clean it every day. And nowadays the Airbnbs are so expensive for short stays, for like a weekend or 4 or 5 days, that there's almost no advantage on cost doing Airbnb or hotel. So the hotel would win out for sure. So that's what I say. I always say stay in a hotel if you can in the middle of the city. It doesn't have to be super, super expensive, and it does again, as long as it's in the city center. It can be a 3-star, 4-star hotel, whatever. When you're overseas, I have a rule of thumb. I spend about $80, maybe $70, depending on what part of the world I'm at, for the hotel. If I stay in a nice place, it's going to be about $130, $150 a night. But again, you can find places when you're outside the U.S. If you're outside the U.S. and outside of Western Europe anyway, you won't be paying $400 a night like you do here when you're traveling. But there are good things about the Airbnb, though. The Airbnb is cheaper for long stays. So again, if you're staying more than the 2 weeks, if you're going to stay for a month somewhere, the Airbnb is going to be cheaper. And so that's the one good thing about it. If you meet people, if you meet girls, whatever, and you want to bring girls back to your place, it might be easier to do that at the Airbnbs just because it's private, I guess. At the hotels, there's some places in the world where if the girl is not like registered as your wife, they won't let her up, or she has to give them a bribe essentially to get up to your room. So that's something that the Airbnb, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. That's that's an advantage. The second thing is that you can cook at the Airbnb. You can go to the grocery store and cook all your food. If you're there for, like I said, an extended time anyway, that's really convenient. It saves money on food or eating out, and so that's a good thing about the Airbnb. One of the things that sucks about the Airbnb though is, like I said before, it's kind of like they don't clean it every day and all that. But in my experience anyway, there's always been like a problem with the apartment. There's always there's the lock doesn't work, or the window doesn't close, or there's always like something wrong with the Airbnb. So again, if you're at a hotel, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, but that's kind of my 2 cents. I use Expedia for trying to find hotels and Airbnbs. I'm sure there's other ways to find better deals on hotels, but both Airbnb and hotels. I think Booking.com lists both the hotels and Airbnbs. But that's kind of what I do. Again, I'm no expert in booking hotels for cheap, whatever. All I do know is that when you're overseas by yourself, stay in the city center, because you're going to have so much more fun and excitement. So hope that helps. If you like this video, please like it, and please subscribe to the channel. Have more videos about traveling the world by yourself if you're a guy. Thanks.